Today I will be doing a video on Possessor. A secret organization uses brain implant technology to inhabit other people's bodies, ultimately driving them to commit assassinations. During one mission, something goes horribly wrong. This was a real doozy to get through. I knew what the basic premise was about, but how everything worked in order to achieve their goal was very confusing. The organization isn't explained well. It wasn't until the middle of the movie where I started to understand what was happening. It's an aesthetically nice looking film. It's well acted, but confusing, and because of that, it's not very engaging. There's a lot more violence than I expected. Those parts were well done and very entertaining. It's very gory, and it reminded me a lot of those Hostile movies. There's one scene in particular that's very intense and painful to watch. I actually winced. Other parts of the film had creepy imagery as well, and at this point, I did start to have really high hopes for the rest of it, but sadly, it did not hold my interest because once again, it's very confusing. There are some characters that pop out of nowhere and they aren't explained well. Their actions come and go, and you're like, wait, what the F just happened? I do appreciate that it wasn't a cliche because at one point it does sort of come across as a typical revenge type movie. In normal situations in other movies, you'd see a character react in a certain way. In this movie, the lead character is completely detached from her normal everyday life, but she still feels human and she seems very troubled. It would have been nice to know what led her to do all of this. I'm sad to say I didn't like the movie as much as I wanted to. I really did try to get into it, but I never really could. It just didn't do it for me. That doesn't mean it's a bad film. Other people might like this, and I do suggest that you check it out for yourself and you don't listen to anyone else's opinion, because this is basically one of those movies where you're either gonna like it or hate it, and you really just have to see it for yourself. So yeah, I give it a 3 out of 10.